We got. Are we good?
All right, welcome back to Ona, West Virginia, on the campus of Cabell Midland High School. The single A races are about to be underway. We will start with the girls and then head to the boys. Coach, I know this is a race special to your heart. What are your thoughts? Have to wait all day to get to this one here.
Yeah, I think sometimes, I think there's that downplay, it's only Class A. But, they're playing within the class that they were structured under the SSAC. Certainly not their fault in any respect. There's some great talent. There's been great talent in the past in Class A division, and we see some good talent at the top of the rung here with Bella Boggs from Charleston Catholic, probably really solid, a good full minute ahead of Laura Kane there from Braxton. But, really tight team championship that we might be talking about here later on.
All right, well, let's take a look at the way things have broken down from the regional perspective. We will start with single A region in St. Mary's. St. Mary's, a perfect score in that region, a small region, only 19 runners in that race. St. Mary's runs away with it. You see Bentley Williams, though, from Ritchie County, qualifies as an individual. Also, Maddie Smith in 5th place from St. Mary's, Mariah Whitlock in 6th place. And you see a couple of Tyler Consolidated runners qualifying for that championship as well. Moving on to Region 2, and that's a region with 3 teams that make it here: Braxton County, Doddridge County, and Trinity Christian. Bailey Holden was your champion in that region, and she held off Laura Kane from Braxton County. You take a look at the top 8. Qualifying individually, though, is Addie Moats from Tucker County, Gracie Heischman from East Hardy, Gabby Smith from Calhoun, Callie Dunn from Pendleton, and Brianna Hamilton from East Hardy as well. Moving on to Region 3, and there you see Arabella Boggs at the top of the list. She won. Look at that margin in the regional championship.
3 minutes.
3 minutes
Wow.
is astounding there. Avery Lilly finished runner-up, and she gets that automatic qualifier spot going down the line there. Qualifying individually, Sophie Mullins, Casey Hatfield, Alyssa Bailey, and Reagan Raffo also qualifying as Charleston. As a team, though, sends its squad here toward to the state championship. Now taking a look at Region 4. How about Ravenswood qualifying, sending its team? A perfect score goes down for Ravenswood. Logan sends Keelan Perry as a freshman qualifying individually. Megan Cutlip from Wirt County and her teammate Lily Cross make it as well. Elena Ellis advances, as does Zoe Yoke, not shown there in the individual standpoint. Let's take a look at the Run WV top-ranked runners from the season. And there you see some of the names that we've mentioned winning regional championships. What stands out to you here, Coach, when we look at the top 10 ranked runners?
Well, you look at Bella Boggs, obviously at the top of the list, but there are some close contenders behind her. And if she's not on the top of her game tonight or today, when she's running, some of those other girls can actually catch her. And you're going to see a lot of battling there. You see a couple of Doddridge kids in there, how they fall into that mix, because they're fairly close to Braxton, although Laura Kane is going to be leading them. Outside of Laura Kane and Addison Lloyd, you've got that cluster with those other 3 Braxton girls. They're going to try to finish 16, 17, 18, all right together, So it's going to be really tight, I think a tight single-A girls race.
Well, Laura Kane from Braxton County, she was 5th in Double-A last year, helped the team to a Double-A state championship. She also has a 4.42 grade point average. I'm going to guess that is way higher than anything that I could have ever put together. But we will talk a little bit more about these athletes and this race coming up. We're going to step away and take a break. We'll be back with the Single A Girls Championship coming right up.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in West Virginia, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
I was so excited when I heard this sandwich was back. I was like, Cloud 9. 2 words, Cloud 9. What's up? This is Mike.
And this is Celia.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich
is the symphony of flavors. You can always count on that crispy, tender, juicy chicken, and it's got pickled jalapenos, and it's so good.
My favorite part is the pimento cheese. Topped off with the honey, it all comes together perfectly. I like the original.
I like the spicy chicken fillet. But either way,
you're getting a winner.
Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Farmers and Mechanics Insurance knows West Virginia, and we understand how much all of our high school teams and athletes mean to the communities that we have served for more than 100 years. That's why we're proud of our partnership with the West Virginia SSAC. Their commitment to teach and promote sportsmanship and citizenship is the key to future success. Protecting what matters most to you. Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, a proud partner of the West Virginia SSAC.
Looking for a path to success in service? The West Virginia Army National Guard offers unmatched opportunities. Earn your degree with up to 100% tuition assistance while gaining invaluable leadership skills. Train locally, serve part-time, and build a career with endless possibilities. Join a team dedicated to community, state, and country. The West Virginia Army National Guard, where your future starts today. Visit NationalGuard.com WV to learn more. We guard West Virginia.
The best thing about West Virginia is West Virginia.
It's family, faith, and integrity.
It's a strong work ethic.
Everyone knows their neighbors.
I think we feel closer to nature and we feel closer to each other.
You can achieve anything here.
To be a West Virginian is to be hopeful. We live in a state that has boundless opportunities, and with boundless opportunities come hope.
Hope Gas is lighting the way forward for West Virginia. Learn more at wvsforhope.com.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
For over 4 decades, the health plan is called West Virginia Home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community. The health plan. Here for you.
Geared up, ready to go, brother?
Yep. Welcome back once again for the Class Single A Cross Country Championship. We're going to start with the girls, and after that we will finish up the day with the boys. Coach, let's start here. These athletes have had to sit and wait all day. What has that morning been like? What has that preparation been like waiting for this 3 o'clock start?
Well, one of the things that some of the coaches that have been around and had a lot of experience that I've spoken with, they won't bring their kids down for the whole day. And the reason they don't is because it'll kind of wear them out. You know, you're going to get here, you got a 9 o'clock start for the AA girls, and you're not going to run till 3. You got a 6-hour break where kids could be doing things that you really can't monitor. So it would be nice to go down and watch the competition, but you're not there as a spectator. You're there as a participant. So let's get these kids there when we need to get them there, get them trained up, get them warmed up, and get them ready to go.
Well, and it's a little bit different, too, because traveling same day and running is likely part of their routine and stuff and what they are accustomed to doing. So in a race like this, you probably want to try and keep things as normal and as routine as possible.
Absolutely. You don't want to do something out of the norm. The last thing you want to do is say, hey, get that pressure from the community or the kids or the parents, say, why don't you take them down the night before so they're fully rested? Well, what they don't understand is that kids don't rest in hotel rooms. And we know that from experience as coaches. So, you stick to that routine exactly like you said, Adam. You stick to the routine, you stay with it, and then hope the results are there for you at the end of the day.
What was interesting when we were talking to Samantha Shreve about how she was paying very close attention to the race earlier that day. I'm assuming she is a fan and watched, from the live stream, or maybe she was out here and got some notes, but paid a lot of attention to that first race of the morning with Mason Fletcher and Alyssa Saros. So these athletes are tuned in and plugged in and trying to follow it any way they can, and they don't maybe have to get out of their comfort zone and spend that night in a hotel if they don't have to.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, later on when we talked to Ty Stewart's, how he said he was
just a few minutes away from the start of the East England Girls Championship race.
Already that recognition, and it just kind of also speaks to how well this sport has grown over the years. I mean, you've seen it and I've seen it, and it's just wonderful to see that how positive, and competitive our state has become in the world of running.
Yeah, and I think just to kind of put another point on it or to double down on it is the event atmosphere that Cabell Midland and Coach Parsons has created down here. And quite honestly, back in the Stone Ages when I was an athlete competing, it wasn't anything like that. But making that top 10 and that podium finish, and you go into that gymnasium and the setup that they have, you just don't understand how special it is for those athletes until you get to go and witness it, and if you're lucky enough to go and experience it. So part of this as an event has been the ability to make it feel very much and very special for those athletes that get that opportunity to walk up and get a plaque and stand on that podium.
Yeah, in the old days, the really old days, they waited to do all that before, and then now they're doing it after they finish each class, and I think that's a great development over time. And here we see them right on the line getting ready, Adam.
Yeah, and talk about this a little bit. This is going to be one of the smallest races of the day. I think it is actually the smallest race from a numbers standpoint. How does that affect, or does it affect your race strategy coming into this if you're trying to get one of those top two spots?
Well, I think it's easier to see because you have less runners, of course, and then who you're going to target, and if the coaches are doing their homework, then they know which groups of kids they want to run in. But this one's going to be thinned out a little bit more, as you know. They've only got 61 or 62 runners, but the idea here is that you're going to look for the group that you want to be with, and that's the ones you want to stay with for as long as you can. So
we've seen these races today develop in a couple of different ways. Haven't had a lead pack of anybody really for the day, so we'll see if single A perhaps develops that way.
It would depend, I think, on how energetic Annabella Boggs is for Charleston Catholic. Does she want to go out and assert herself, or is she comfortable just staying where she is?
Yeah, a lot to develop here. Very much in the early stages, and we're going to take an opportunity here and show you some of the participants competing here in this single A championship. Here you see Braxton County with Laura Kane. We mentioned their 4.42 grade point average. Addison Lloyd has a 4.25 grade point average. My goodness, this group.
I think those are weighted,
Adam. Well, still. Yeah,
still. Don't take away from what they've done. Right.
And these young ladies have been together from middle school, so they've competed for a long time. They were the AA state champions last year.
And they are the predicted Class A girls championship, but narrowly over Doddridge. So you're going to have to see how that plays out when they start coming across that finish line.
This Charleston Catholic team, you see Bella Boggs at the top there. Had a terrific year. Hannah Fisher been a top 10 in each meet. And then you have some other athletes like Bailey King. She was 4th at the regional. Abby Nesters also plays golf. And Izzy Paulson is on the swim team. And Ava Snyder there. This is her first year running cross country. So this is a good way to get things started for her.
That's a very young Catholic team, by the way.
Yep. And Doddridge County, you talked about them already. Bailey Holden, she's a 2-time All-State performer, 8th last year. Katie Cottrell, another senior, 3-time All-State. She finished 4th last year, but she was battling injury for the first half of the season. And Doddridge with a host of championships to its credit, 6 in all.
Yeah, you see Annabella Boggs has decided to assert herself. We see only her in the drone shot right now with a really tight pack behind her. It looks like there's about 6 or 7 girls, Adam, that are really vying there for that runner-up position.
Yeah, and let's talk about this course. It has been in perfect condition here today. From a running standpoint, absolutely picture-perfect weather and course. There's the course map you see, and this part is the hill of the course that you got to navigate.
Yeah, you just got to get up it. You're not going to make a lot of time like we talked about before. You just get up it and into the rest of the course. This is the hardest part in terms of how it's going to tax you. How much energy are you wanting to use to get up that course? Because you're really not going to make a whole lot of ground there. We see Ravenswood's group there on the left, Raleigh Sotomayor. She's the junior leader on that team, and Coach Canterbury's hoping that she can finish in the top 10. He has a really good feel about it. I talked to him a little bit before the race.
Yeah, I see the green ribbon in the hair there, and we're taking a look at St. Mary's. Anna Bennett at the top, first team all-conference and a 2-time regional champion. Natalie Bartung is really kind of the senior leader on this squad. Coach Stephen Nutter describes her as somebody that just goes above and beyond everything you ask her to, and those are the kinds of athletes you need to try and pursue and be really successful here in your sport.
Yeah, there's so much of it becomes mental, Adam, because these girls have run all year and they put their trust and their faith in their coaches and in their training and in the weight room and all the things that they've done. But when it comes right down to it, you kind of almost got to get in the kid's head and say, hey, look, she's really cutting off where the course is there.
Right.
She's definitely going to work on the inside of that course. But, it becomes so mental at this point, it's not so much about the time as can you really manufacture a full race, a complete race to where you're not going to slow down. You're right there. He's talking to her, hey, here's your time right now when we're looking at it. So.
Yes, that's the 2-mile mark that they go through. So we will get to the mile mark here shortly, but it is Arabella Boggs in that lead, and we see a couple other runners. That's Avery Bennett, looks like from St. Mary's in 2nd place. And
Bailey Holden there, and then also Bentley Williams.
Yep, so you're seeing those single numbers, and Laura Kane wearing that number 2 from Braxton County, and then Riley Sotomayor with that 8 bib. And so you might be wondering, Addison Lloyd as well, you might be wondering how the bib numbers are assigned. They do go off the Run WV predictions or runner rankings to get those 1 through 10, and then after that the numbers are assigned. So they're not you're not bound by that, and it's always fun to have the athletes have a little bit of motivation, whether they get that 1 through 10 or if they don't.
Can they get into that 1 through 10?
That's right. And then, if you're wearing that number 1 bib, you're feeling a lot of pressure, or are you feeling a lot of pressure? Can you put that away to perform? So all part of the psychological challenge, but we do like those bibs. 1 through 10 helps us do our job here.
Sure. Plus, so far, of course, Run WV and working that out, we're 4 for 4 in terms of the one wearing the number 1 bib so far.
Yeah, there she goes right through the mile mark at 6:08 or so.
Mm-hmm. That's about right on pace for her. She's her seed time at 16:41 this year, so she's right on her pace. 18:41.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, has a nice lead here.
Yeah, running all by herself.
And then you see the individual qualifiers that came from those regional meets. Again, it's such an accomplishment to be able to get to this state championship and try to collect some opportunities.
If this is a day you want to run good, you've got a great course, you've got good weather. I mean, there's virtually no wind here. Perfect weather. We're looking 64 degrees right now, when this race started. So it is ideal conditions to turn in a good time.
Going back to see how things will perhaps shake up for this team race. Braxton County comes in as the favorite. They were the champions in AA last year, now moving to single A with the reclassifications. And Doddridge and St. Mary's, that looks like that's going to be quite the battle behind there. So we'll see how that shakes up. You see a huge lead there, though, for Arabella Boggs.
Pick over there. You notice when we see the drone shots that when you watch the runners, sometimes they're right on the middle of the line. Sometimes they start hugging the inside, and it's kind of sometimes it's worrisome about their concentration because you really have to pay attention in a course because, one wrong step or you just take one extra stride going down. There's that little swell we were talking about. You take that one extra long stride and you turn that ankle, and then now you got a problem the rest of the race. She doesn't look like she's having much problem right now.
Nope.
Navigating this course.
Yeah, and when we talked to Samantha Shreve, she talked about how happy she was to be right with the gator in front of her. So she knew that things were going okay because she was right sticking with that gator. Take another look on the course here. The runners going by. Most of the runners starting that second mile. Really critical here.
Yeah, and just by the nature of the fact that we only have 61 runners, there will be some thinning out as we go along, and there'll be, a pretty diverse difference in who finishes first and last. But the point is they're competing at the state level, and that's the highest level they compete in. So, hats off to all the competitors.
But right now it is Arabella Boggs leading the way for Charleston Catholic.
Adam, I might say it might be the largest lead we've seen of the day so far. It appears to be, at least based on what we're seeing here on the drone shots.
Yeah, really impressive here so far from Boggs. Quite the gap. Wow, not even anybody making that turn.
Not even made the turn yet.
Yep.
And they're starting to. When you're parallel to that curve, you got a pretty long lead. Looks like whoever's broke out of that pack about 6 or 7, running second. And I don't know whether that was that Avery Bennett that was in there, or I can't remember earlier from the mile marker.
Yeah, it's hard to see. There were a handful, about the numbers that were coming in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 from a bid standpoint. That would be Kane, Bennett, Williams, Holden, and Cottrell. We're all kind of in that mix, it seemed like.
And one of them is based on what we've seen, they've made a little bit of a move to separate themselves. So
yeah, and again, that is going to go a long way to figuring out the team standings here. But right now it is Arabella Boggs in firm control from an individual standpoint of this race.
Yeah, she's got full control of this race, but the race behind the races that we've been talking about all morning and all afternoon, that, those are just as important. I mean, not taking anything away from her individual effort, but, they're not necessarily a team that's in the hunt for a state championship. They just don't have all the horses they need this year, but, anything's possible. I'm not going to rule out anything at this point.
Yeah, Charleston Catholic's only championship in the sport came back in 2001, so it has been a long time. And perhaps putting the pieces together, but is this the year for that? We'll have to wait and see. But we'll be curious to see when we get the shot here coming up to this 2-mile mark how things are shaping up behind Boggs, making her way right there, looking really strong, again with that number 1 bib.
Looks very, very comfortable in her pace right now, in her rhythm.
Yep. going to come towards us here, and then there is another loop, and you see the white PVC piping. That'll be the 2 mile mark there when she's heading back out.
Should be hitting it somewhere after the 12s, obviously.
Yep.
She came in, I think, 6:08. Is that what you said, the first mile?
Yes,
So
that's right.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. So, if you're trying to do pacing here, of course it's difficult because you're in a course where she had the hill work, that first part, and then, see where she is here when she comes up out of there on that 2 mile mark.
Yep. So right now you see the clock there running.
2:12:17, something like that, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yep. Coming up on that right now will be that 2 mile mark, 12:30-ish. And here we go with second place. It's Laura Kane breaking out there. And then you have Williams and Holden, 4, 5, and 6. A Cottrell joining them. And trailing a little bit is Avery Bennett from St. Mary's.
The number's kind of holding true in this race right now. Here comes, looks like Natalie Bartram.
Bartung from St. Mary's. And then it'll be Riley Sotomayor making her way. And we have the first double-digit bib number in Avery Lilly from Summers County. And then Addison Lloyd will be next. And then, Cassidy Cumberledge, Hannah Fisher, Leah Payne. See, that's another Braxton, a white Braxton jersey, followed by Gwen Gorell. Braxton County looking pretty strong here. Bethany Payne wearing bib number 16, and Elliot Hanley wearing 63. Caitlin Key in bib 27. And then Tegan Huff coming through. But there's Arabella Boggs flying down that hill.
Yeah, no doubt she's coming down the hill, that's for sure. They're kind of spaced out pretty good. It's a little bit easier to see the bib numbers when, they're spaced out like that.
Coming down that hill and then making your way to that flat spot. You really have to concentrate on your form and maintaining that to make sure you don't get over your feet a little bit too much, right?
Yep, that's exactly right. Don't overstride yourself and don't put yourself out of the race that early. You don't want to do that going down that hill. You really got to be cautious about it.
All kinds of room here, though, for your leader, Arabella Boggs from Charleston Catholic. You get a good look at that dip there. We've talked about it a few times. This is you get an idea of the landscape there.
Again, you got to use your balance and be sensible, especially when you have such a lead like that. You definitely don't want to trip yourself up, but she's in quite a comfortable lead right now.
Yep, looking strong, and you don't ever want to get ahead of yourself too much, but you can sense it, I'm sure. Again, some of these parts of the course where you double back and you see your lead, you see where your teammates are, and getting a little bit of encouragement there.
Telling her where she is and how far she is ahead of them, and what she needs to do, and is she going to go for a PR here, or she just feel like she's got it? We talked earlier to Ty Stewart's, and he said he kind of felt like he had to pick it up a little bit, and then he got kind of had some issues there with his breathing, and he decided to back off. But you just got to kind of go with how you feel. She looks pretty strong right now.
Yep. Just over 800 left for your leader, Arabella Boggs from Charleston Catholic, just a junior. She was the runner-up a season ago, trying to now move up to that top spot on the podium. This time last year she ran this course in 1939, and she took second place to Alyssa Sorrow, which there is not a lot of shame in that, of course.
No, absolutely not. I think one of her goals is probably to best that time from last year, Adam.
Well,
and I think based on what we've seen pace-wise, I think that's going to happen.
Right now at the 16:36 mark with less than 800 to go, probably closer to 600 now. Again, once they get back up on that track, we can do that math. That's pretty easy. That's a 300. We know that one.
We know what's left.
Yeah.
And we do know what's left.
And we see the fans who are up on the hill cheering their runners on, trying to get their way back down to the stadium to see the finish.
Yeah.
I tell you what, a couple of years ago, Coach, it was raining, and I tried to make it down that hill, and I was a bowling ball rolling through there, knocking over people, slipping through the rain. So I
couldn't help it.
I had to wear it a little bit. I tried to get down there as quickly as I could, and I couldn't stay on my feet.
Got to do what you can, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's
tough to cover this course. You can't cover the whole thing. I don't care how good you are. You can be a world-class runner. You're not going to get all of it covered. You just do the best you can.
Yeah, you got to go from point to point to point as best you can. But got to give credit to all those parents out there trying to encourage their athletes, trying to do that point to point to point. We saw Arabella Boggs look like she had a supporter out there trying to cheer her on and get her in as she pursues a state title. Making her way to the stadium. You see the spectators lined up. You can start to get another little hit of adrenaline.
You see her come across the little bridge there that'll kind of vault her onto the track. She's just about ready to hit the track with 300 meters to go at the 18:12 mark.
That's right. And again, just for housekeeping purposes, her finish last year was 1940 or 1939. So looking to improve that.
I can bet a house she'll beat 1940.
Of course, you waited till the last 200 to place your bet, but we'll take it.
Yeah, you got to get it. You got to get the sure bet.
You like those ads? You like those odds, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, here she comes. Last turn for her. Trying to keep those arms moving to get in here, running a really nice time, particularly compared to last season. She gets her head up, and she is looking for that finish line. 100 to go.
Really strong finish there by Annabella Boggs for the single A girls cross country state championship. I got her in about 1903. And not looking completely taxed.
No, and again, it is difficult to go out there and do that all by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And she ran solo pretty much from the gun. And a huge margin here she's going to have as our next athlete is going to make their way onto the track. Next couple of athletes. And it is going to be Laura Kane there, and she's being pursued. By Bentley Williams, I think. Get a better look here.
Yeah, it might be the Dodgers guy.
Yeah.
And it could be, is it number 5, Bailey Holden?
Yeah, I think you're right. My apologies. That is Bailey Holden.
She's closing in on her.
She sure is. She's got that momentum, too. But it is Bailey Holden.
It.
Oh, how about a response?
Yeah, Laura Kane said, I feel her coming.
Yeah, Laura Kane with a response.
She sure can.
That is difficult to do, to recapture that, because Bailey Holden was really bearing down on her, but she gathered herself. But we have another couple of runners passing, coming in. That's Bentley Williams from Ritchie, number 4. She's making her way now, followed by Avery Bennett. And then it'll be another Doddridge runner.
Catherine Cottrell from Doddridge County.
Then Natalie Barton from St. Mary's.
Natalie Barton from St. Mary's.
A little bit more space here in this single A race. And that is Sotomayor making the turn now. We got
took a little glance over her shoulder to see what she had ahead of her, and how much she had to put forth. And pretty decent pace.
Addison Lloyd.
Avery Lilly making the pass here past Addison Lloyd.
Anna
to
Fisher.
take the next spot. And another Charleston Catholic runner, that is Anna Fisher, making her way. She's going to pop into your screen here momentarily in the white jersey.
Where are
black
you at?
shorts and the green
Leah Payne.
ribbon. Next coming through will be Leah Payne from Braxton. There you see Payne.
I want that
Athletes
figure, bro.
on the track here. Can they
Haley.
one more person? That is the challenge coming in.
Caitlin Key from Congress County.
Burrell. And here comes on her shoulder. That is Elliott Hanley trying to make a pass. These two coming stride for stride. We're going to see another athlete hold off.
Wow.
And she is. A great job. Again, it's response. That's really difficult to do in that final stretch, is to respond. And another Doddridge County runner, that is Caitlin Key coming through the line. Braxton sending another runner through. That is Tegan Huff. Mariah Whitlock from St. Mary's trying to make a move here, but then we have another response from Braxton. That's Reese Carpenter.
This could be a really important
Yes, absolutely.
Right, Adam, for sure.
It's Keelan Perry from Logan getting across the line.
It's good for you, though.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
it's good.
To a certain point.
Yeah.
It's good for you. These guys are in peak physical
Curious to see
shape.
how these team scores
like
shake out.
Stamina-wise.
Yeah.
Muscle-wise, not so much, but stamina-wise, yes.
All that I couldn't imagine shit. 41.
You know, this is really the difference in that small race, or these large gaps that occur that really are 1 point. It's 1 point difference in 30 seconds or so. In these other races, you do 30 seconds is probably about 20 places.
Absolutely.
Braxton again trying to get its runner to the line. What battles we have seen here at this finish line.
Wow.
Well, we're not making that call on that one. Those two runners stride for stride.
Yeah, we're gonna pick them, put them into places.
That's right. Thankfully, that's not our job. Through now, we'll see Bailey King getting to the finish line again. She's going to have to fight off a challenge.
She might get nipped.
Ooh, that's another one. That is another one, Coach, right at the line.
Huge. That could be huge. Let's see how they stacked them. Let's see if they stacked them that well. They did. Wow.
Gracie
right at the line.
Not coming through for East Hardyville. You know, that's the thing. You get out there and you're working so hard for 2,000 meters, 3,000 meters, 4,000 meters. You think you're on the track. You think you're good. You think you're going to get that in there, and you've got to make it all 5,000 meters. They all count, right?
49.99 doesn't work. It's got to be all 5,000. We just witnessed that there at the finish line.
Another challenge here at the line. That's going to be Andy Fiber, the first of that trio getting through.
Yeah, man, I hope he does. He has to.
You see the carnage as these runners finish and immediately try to look for an exit ramp so that they can just lay down.
Exactly. And the important thing is you want to get them up because you want to keep that blood flowing. You don't just want to run a race like that and then collapse. That can be dangerous. You know, that's why they actually physically get those kids up and get them to walk a little bit.
All right, so there we have Arabella Boggs is your champion. We still have a lot to sort out from the team standpoint. Runners are still coming in. We'll stick here for just a moment before we go to commercial. We'll try to track down Arabella Boggs and talk with her. And we'll also keep an eye on those team results to see how things have shaken out. We have seen so many battles here down to the wire right at that finish line. We'll see what kind of effect that has had on the team results. All right, now we're going to go ahead and step away. We'll be back here with more from the girls single A cross country championships in a moment.
That's Michelle's nephew right there, her niece. Just came in.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. Today's culinary warriors have been challenged to concoct the ultimate snack masterpiece, using only the finest weapons in our arsenal, snacks and deli delights. Rosemary wields the ancient spears of Laffy Taffy, and Silas counters with the arrow of Slim Jim. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Join us next time for more delicious duels on the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off. Till then, keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
Ready? It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right.
Recover.
Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles.
Ready? Recover. Repeat.
Chocolate Milk, the official beverage of high school sports, is brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast.
For over 4 decades, the health plan is called West Virginia Home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community. The health plan. Here for you.
No plan? No problem. Just wing it, and we'll do the rest. Plump and juicy? You got it. Fried to perfection? Always. Sauced and tossed, or naked if you prefer. It's always your choice at Geno's. Whether it's a 6 or 10 piece of our famous original wings, or our tasty traditional wings, or a 10-ounce portion of our tender boneless wings, we'll leave your mouth watering for more. We promise we won't wing it, but you should. Geno's Pizza and Spaghetti House. Just wing it.
Means these are live right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they can't hear us because there's a commercial.
Okay.
Go tuition free.
When it comes back, you'll
with the
see
West
us on the
Virginia
screen.
Invests grant program.
Adam,
we got to do our sponsor hit.
Your
And
career
we'll
or
ask
just
Geno's
getting started.
Tutors.
Geno's Tutors Finish Line Interview.
At a West
Wait, do I say
Virginia
that?
community
No.
Okay.
West
Yes, you
Virginia
could. I'd like
invests
for you
in
to, so I don't have to.
This is your
Geno's
chance.
Tutors.
Get started at www.invests.org.
Geno's Tutors Finish Line.
It's
Review.
kind
When
of
the opportunity
harder than it
arose for me
looks.
to pilot our new
Yeah.
open heart surgery
Yeah.
program at WVU
It
Madison
is.
Thomas
Say that
Hospitals,
sometimes fast.
I welcome the chance to bring
For sure.
world-class heart and vascular care to our region.
What we got, Josh?
Along with my role as the new
20 out.
cardiothoracic surgeon, our heart and vascular team includes an experienced group of cardiologists and vascular surgeons
as far as
who
I
are
get,
part
though.
of the WVU Heart
up.
and Vascular Institute.
Gotcha.
We're here, and we're bringing superior
Yeah,
health
well,
care to southern West
smell them
Virginia
yet
and
anyway.
beyond. Visit thomashospitals.org to learn more.
All right, welcome back to the campus of Cabell Midland, and we are joined by Arabella Boggs for this Geno's Tutors Finish Line interview. Did you like that?
Yeah, I did.
All right, well, tell us about your mindset coming into this when you were sharing with us that just getting here was really the goal and exciting for you. Tell us what you were thinking about coming into this one.
Well, I've only raced 2 times in the past meets. I've had anemia the whole season, and I did not think I was going to get to this line this year. 6 weeks ago, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to run the rest of the season, and I kept my head strong, and I trusted my training and my mom and my team, and I got to the line this year, and I'm just so thankful for it.
Well, you came out that first mile that you ran, Arabella, was about 6:08, which was a pretty brisk first mile. And I think were you kind of targeting that getting better than you did last year in terms of your time? I know you was runner-up last year, but
No, that was not my plan. I
Okay.
was like, uh-oh, like, here we go. I went out too fast, and I wore my race plan on my leg, and it was push, pace, power, pray, and I was supposed to push that first part, and I did, but I thought there would be people with me. There was no people with me, and so I was worried. And then I was like, okay, we're going to stick to the plan. And I went through second mile in my power,
Okay.
and or pace, not power. And then the last part, like the downhill, was the power, and then the pray was just whatever I had left coming around. I was like, okay,
Exactly.
this is the pray part.
Well, it seemed to have worked for you. Tell us about the struggles, though, of dealing with the anemia and how you had to really kind of fight through it from a mental standpoint. How tough was it to deal with and not know maybe what was ahead of you?
Okay, it was pretty tough. I had to eat kale and spinach daily.
That is
like
that's a non-starter there, really.
That's a double. That's a doubly bad right
double
there.
whammy.
Yeah.
I'm so stubborn. That's what everybody says about me, and I love it. I was stubborn with the anemia, and I kept on fighting, and I got here today, and I'm just so happy.
When did you sense it that you were going to finish that line first? I know you said on the first mile there was nobody around you, but as it goes on and you continue to extend that, but when did you feel like, yeah, this is going to be my day?
Well, my mom has been telling me all week, when you get to that line, you win. And so I just kept on telling myself that when I get to that line, I win. And so I just kept on, looked like a mad woman, but I was repeating it, running around the field.
Well, there's a course, there's a picture in the race with a drone where you come and there's a curve and you come back around and you had the largest gap of anybody that has run today. I mean, we didn't even see, you were just parallel with them, so you knew you had a pretty comfortable lead. But how did you feel when you've actually hit the track? How did you feel mentally and physically?
I just took it all in.
Yeah.
Mom said you work that whole race and then you get to the track and you take it all in.
Yeah.
And it was a sweet moment.
What was your training before, obviously, the anemia and dealing with that? What was your training like getting ready for this year and this season and with an eye towards this sort of day and this sort of accomplishment?
Well, I wasn't allowed to sweat until 3 weeks ago, so it was very, very tough not sweating during workouts. So I started to like push myself and pick it up like 2 weeks ago, and I've just been stubborn and stuck with it and got here today.
Well, your stubborn and stick-to-itiveness made you a state champion today, Arabella.
Well, thank you.
Well, congratulations, Arabella. Once again, your single A state champion. We'll be back in just a moment, and we will look at some team results and some individual results.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in West Virginia, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
No matter what it is you need, you'll find it at your local Par-Mar store. From gas to grocery, snacks, and everything else you always seem to run out of, Par-Mar stores has it. Need more savings? Download the Par-Mar app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card. You won't only see our stores in your neighborhoods, you'll see us in your neighborhoods too. We are proud to be in your town and proud to be a part of the community. Come see us at Par-Mar stores, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
I was so excited when I heard this sandwich was back. I was like, cloud nine. 2 words, cloud nine. What's up? This is Mike.
And this is Celia.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich
Is the symphony of flavors. You can always count on that crispy, tender, juicy chicken, and it's got pickled jalapenos, and it's so good.
My favorite part is the pimento cheese. Topped off with the honey, it all comes together perfectly. I like the original.
I like the spicy chicken fillet, but either way,
You're getting a winner.
real customers paid for their testimonials.
Farmers and Mechanics Insurance knows West Virginia, and we understand how much all of our high school teams and athletes mean to the communities that we have served for more than 100 years. That's why we're proud of our partnership with the West Virginia SSAC. Their commitment to teach and promote sportsmanship and citizenship is the key to future success. Protecting what matters most to you. Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, a proud partner of the West Virginia SSAC.
The best thing about West Virginia is West Virginia.
It's family, faith, and integrity.
It's a strong work ethic.
Everyone knows their neighbors.
I think we feel closer to nature and we feel closer to each other.
You can achieve anything here.
To be a West Virginian is to be hopeful. We live in a state that has boundless opportunities, and with boundless opportunities come hope.
Hope Gas is lighting the way forward for West Virginia. Learn more at wvsforhope.com.
Wouldn't it be nice to start your day with a homemade breakfast and a freshly ground whole bean roasted cup of coffee? Well, at Tudor's Biscuit World, every day starts with freshly cracked eggs.
Doesn't have them yet.
Sizzling bacon and sausage. And you can't forget the mouth-watering made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, hot from the oven. Whether it's our famous sausage gravy or your favorite breakfast sandwich, morning always tastes better at Tudor's. Looks great, tastes better. Tudor's Biscuit World.
Welcome back to the campus of Cabell Midland. All the runners appear to be in. And let's take a look at that top 10 individual. We just spoke with Arabella Boggs, who really emphasized how much of an accomplishment it was for her to even get here and to finish. And she crushes the field on her way to the state championship, 1903. Laura Kane from Braxton County was second. Bailey Holden from Doddridge County was third. A good race there at the line. You're going to see a lot of these times bunched up here. Anna Bennett from St. Mary's was next. Catherine Cottrell from Doddridge. Natalie Barton was next. Riley Sotomayor was next. And Avery Lilly from Summers County and Addison Lloyd round out that top 10. Coach, what are your thoughts about that top 10?
Yeah, you see a great run there by Arabella. Arabella Boggs, but then you see how tight that was between Laura Kane and Bailey Holden there. That was less than a second. That was a half second. You said how hard it was to call that one. A couple of PRs in the top 10, pretty much laid out kind of what we thought we would see from the top 10. So I didn't see a great deal of surprises there from 1 to 10.
I haven't gotten a single call from him.
Turning our attention to the team score, and it is Braxton County coming away as we expected with that single A championship. They were double A last year, won it, 45 points for Braxton County. St. Mary's comes away as the runner-up, 61 points. Doddridge County is third, Charleston Catholic is fourth, and Ravenswood comes in fifth.
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise there. Doddridge was the predicted runner-up, but St. Mary's was able to edge them out. Just a mere 3 points, and we saw a lot of really close calls right at the end of the race. Could have made up that difference as well.
Yeah, for St. Mary's, Bartrug was that all-state selection, and then was able to really kind of pack it up with Mariah Whitlock in 19th, Maddie Smith in 22nd, Savannah Bird in 24th. So it was a really tight pack there. Then Sydney Gerlach and Brooklyn Davis rounding out that for St. Mary's. For Braxton County, Kane takes second, and then they had to pack it up there. Lloyd was 10th, Leah Payne 12th, Bethany Payne 13th. And so some really good numbers there.
10, 12, 13, you're going to do it.
18, Tegan Huff and Reese Carpenter do it. All right, now we're going to go ahead and turn our attention to the boys race that's going to come up in just about 6 minutes as we are moving right along here in the final race of the day. It's an endurance race for the athletes, an endurance race for us here in the booth. Let's go ahead and start and look at the regional results from Single A. Let's go ahead and start in Region 1. Amos Kimball was your champion there, followed by Landon Davis, Travis Moore, Dylan Malasepich, Max Dodge, Parker Barnes, Bryce Bills, and Reese Westfall. You see Kimball there with under 16 minutes winning that one.
Our next and final race of the day is the Single A Boys Championship race.
Seconds.
That sets a start in about 5 minutes at 3:45.
Placing 3 or 4 in that 8.
I'd like to remind all spectators
outstanding performance
that the Single A Awards presentation
punch that ticket.
Will be in the main gymnasium of the school.
Christian qualifying.
You can access it near the main entrance to the parking lot. And that'll begin at 4:45.
2, 3.
Awards presentation for the single A races will begin at 4:45.
2, 3, and then
It'll be in the main gymnasium of the school. You can enter near the main entrance of the parking lot.
Scoring just 17 points on its way to qualifying for the state meet. Summers County and Mount View also qualifying from the region. Now look at Region 4, a very, very small race. Ravenswood is your team qualifier out of there. Matthew Ballas from Work County was the champion, running 17:42. Automatic qualifiers, Byron Long, Sam Williams, and Trevor Starcher getting the nod from the individual qualification standpoint. Now we go ahead and take a look at the Run WV top 10 ranked runners coming into this one. Amos Kimball, we talked about him from Tyler Consolidated as a regional champion. He is your top 10 ranked runner. Coach, what are your thoughts heading into this final race of the day, looking at that top 10?
Well, when you see his seed time for Amos Kimball, the junior from Tyler Consolidated, pretty solid. He's the only one there under the 15 mark, or under the 16 mark. Doesn't mean that that's exactly what he's going to run, but you know he'll get some competition there from a senior from Paw Paw, Donovan Taniu. I mean he's unaffiliated. I mean he's with Paw Paw, but their team didn't qualify, so he's going to be out there with him, and then Landon Davis there from Magnolia. He's going to be another that's going to be pushing them. And then we have some other runners down there that can really surprise you. They got a runner in St. Mary's, it's Max Dow. He's a junior. He's kind of a sleeper. He's a kid that, you know, it's kind of the interesting part is that kid's dad I coached in high school, so I know what kind of gamer his dad is. So I see this kid kind of being a wild card as they finish out to see if they're going to be in the running for this state championship, because they're certainly one of the teams, Catholic, St. Mary's, Doddridge. Those three, again, is who we're looking at.
Well, it comes from good stock, though, right, Coach?
Absolutely.
Now, you look at that top 10, and you see Kimball and Tano. They faced off in the regional. We saw the results separated by only 13 seconds.
Yeah, that's a different race and a different course, and this is the state meet, and you know, as we've already seen here, anything can happen. They have been able to run the number ones all the way across the board, and Amos Kimball does have the number one bib on, so not that he's trying to break the streak, but I'm sure he hopes he doesn't break the streak.
There's probably already enough pressure on him. We don't need to
there you go.
Need to add any more. Final moments of preparation for the teams getting to the line.
It looks like we're going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 94 bibs assigned to the runners as they're finishing up their last warm-up.
Getting a few more run-outs here before we go. This race a little bit larger than the girls' race. We just saw 94 athletes, as you mentioned, towing the line for this one.
Yeah, and how they typically do that, they're in chutes, as you know that, Adam. But, they rank their runners based upon, their top three runners. They usually run three abreast. Their top three runners and then their next three. And then, that's what they have, is basically 6, 7. That's how they stack it up. So, it looks like they're still trying to get them all together and get them in their chutes and get them lined up and ready to go.
Coach, do you prefer an outside box or an inside box so you can just take a straight line, or do you like to take a little bit of a tangent as that start goes and everybody's trying to get to one particular spot?
If I had my druthers, I would take the second or third chute on the inside. I don't like to be in the middle because you feel like you're being collapsed by both sides. You get a feel for where they are. They're inside of you, and you can kind of get out to that lead and get out of that trouble spot and get around that first curve.
We've been thankful to not have any traffic or any issues
Correct.
here with the starts this season. Watching yesterday, some of the NCAA meets had one called back on a start after
Wow.
an athlete fell. So it can happen. Thankful so far that we haven't had to deal with any of that issues, because that can be a whole other set of problems as you try to sort that out. But we are moments away here from the single A Championship, the last race of the day. Thanks so much for being with us. We've had a great time today bringing you all of the action. We just got one more to go.
As they're getting them there lined up, and the coaches giving their last bit of encouragement before they head out onto the course and try to tackle this 5K in again, beautiful weather, 64 degrees and sunny and great course. And we can't thank Chris Parsons and his entourage for the first class way that we've been treated, and how they run the meet, Adam, is just amazing. I mean, they just, from top to bottom, I think there isn't one rock that isn't uncovered, that they don't try to have a contingency for just about anything that happens on the course or around the course. And I just can't shout out enough to Chris and his crew for, once again, for the, I think, 18th consecutive year hosting the Wvssac State Cross Country Championships.
Yeah, and your hope when you come to a state championship is that it feels special and it feels different, and it's certainly been the atmosphere that's been created here at Cabell Midland. The athletes feel really special and appreciated, and that it is a big deal, because it is a big deal.
Sure, it is. I mean, these kids like Arabella talked about, here she had almost lost that opportunity to participate in the state meet, was able to cut it out, and as she said in her own words, she's stubborn, and she took it out onto the course with her. And these kids get that opportunity one time this year to compete in the state meet, and they're going to make the most of it.
Again, we are moments away here from the start of this race, this final race of the day. Which has been interesting to hear almost all of the athletes talk about that first mile mark as being that landmark. Of course, it's a landmark because it's the first mile, but really taking note of their time and pace, either positive or negative here today. So be curious to see what that first mile holds here for this one. Will we have a front runner and just go out and get it and go through that first mile either a little bit hot, or as we've seen in a couple of races, maybe not quite the pace that they wanted. So we'll see what is in store here for this first mile.
They do put a lot of stock in that first mile. I think that gives them an indicator of, we had talked a little bit before, one of the kids that we interviewed said he was behind his time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Arabella saying, oh my goodness, I'm at 6:08.
Mm-hmm.
So, that give or take one way or the other, but it doesn't seem to stop them down or slow them down any. So I think they're ready to go.
Yeah, it was I think Trevor George in the boys AA race that was a little bit worried at the first mile mark. Of course, that race shaped up as a runner from Frankfurt just shot out ahead and really tried to grab the race. He was able to hold on, Ryan Hughes, I believe, from Frankfurt. And but it was at that mile mark that he said, "Okay, I gotta get going." And again, looking at Ty Stewart's, didn't love where he was after mile one. Started to make a push in that second mile. And as we just heard from Arabella Boggs, a little hot for the first mile, especially including the hill which you have to traverse.
Right.
So.
The fact she ran 6:08 in a mile, including the hill that she had to climb.
Right.
She knows she came out a little bit hot, but, she was so far ahead of the next competition. It was by far the largest gap we've seen all day in any of the competitions, in any of the classes, boys or girls, up to this point. I don't suspect we'll see that large a gap in the boys' single A competition, or a little bit tighter.
We talked about. Let's take a look at that map that you're seeing. That green dotted line is that first mile. And then blue, it goes from green to blue for mile two. And that mile two, as we talked about before, is a little bit of the lonely part of the course. Spectators really can't get back there and get back to where they want to be to get out there. So you really have to do a lot of work on your own during mile two. And mile two ends with a little bit of a downhill. It sends you into a downhill there for the third mile. And then once you flatten out there, once you get to the tennis courts, it's really flat and you can try and find your rhythm.
Yeah, that's where you really need to be. I mean, because once you get down by the tennis courts, it's all flat, and then you got to go around the softball field and the baseball field, and then you're onto the track. So, you're going to run out of real estate if you don't make your move quick enough. But then again, that depends on, are you one of those speed runners that catch them, or just one of those pace runners that I'm going to set my pace and I'm going to set this time, and I'm just wanting to better it by 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever that is.
Got a little bit of a delay here for the start of this single A race, but thinking about that girls single A race, and we noted that it was a little bit smaller and it was a little bit thinner there, but the finishes at the line, I would say, were as competitive for that than any other one that we've seen that have been maybe a little bit more congested.
Yeah, every bit is bit, even though there were fewer runners.
I've seen it.
There were an awful lot of close calls down there at the end of the race. We saw as many there with that shortened amount of runners that we saw in the bigger races. Absolutely, Adam. That's a great point.
Yeah, just kind of looking at the results there, I see the race between 25th and 26th separated by .0.
Oh, yeah, you're in the way. It won't let me go forward.
5,000 meters, and you're separated by a fraction of a second.
There it goes.
Another
it read
right
him as an obstacle.
Separated by 3 thousandths of a second. That was Sydney Gerlach and Bailey King in 30th and 31st place. So you saw them really battling out, and you can just go right down the line with all of those really tight finishes to try and better your own position, but also the team's position. That's one of the neat things about this sport, is how your individual goals can align with the betterment of the team.
Yeah, they're nowhere.
They're still out there warming up.
I can see you worry about yourself, and you take care of yourself. You try to do the best you can, and you know that if you do that, you're also doing the best for your team as well.
Absolutely, and the only way you really kind of sneak a spot, if you're trying to sneak the last 15, 20 meters, something like that, but you get right at the finish line, and that person just nips you by a tenth of a second. I mean, that's not anything that kind of really had control. It just happened, but you had somebody that was closing in on you.
Well, I can see it.
And just at that last 1/10 of a yard, I mean, they were able to overtake you for that place. But generally, if you're doing that, you coming down that last 80, 90 meters, you might be able to fight them off if you can see them.
Well, so we do have a little bit of a delay here for the start of this second race, or the last race of the day, second race here in Class Single A. We're going to step away for just a few moments, but we will be back for the start of the race. We'll be back for the Boys Single A Championship. Yeah. I know. Well, let's talk about that. Trying to stay warm. I didn't even see it. Like, just absolutely talked about it. I must have been looking at through my binoculars because I never saw it. I feel stupid not seeing it.
With the West Virginia Invests grant program. Whether you're leveling up your career or just getting started, get the skills and free tuition at a West Virginia community and technical college. West Virginia invests in you. This is your chance. Get started at wvssac.org. It's easy.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
When the opportunity arose for me to pilot our new open heart surgery program at WVU Medicine Thomas Hospitals, I welcomed the chance to bring world-class heart and vascular care to our region. Along with my role as the new cardiothoracic surgeon, our heart and vascular team includes an experienced group of cardiologists and vascular surgeons who are part of the WVU Heart and Vascular Institute. We're here, and we're bringing superior health care to Southern West Virginia and beyond. Visit thomashospitals.org to learn more.
Go tuition free with the West Virginia Invests grant program. Whether you're leveling up your career or just getting started, get the skills and free tuition at a West Virginia community and technical college. West Virginia invests in you. This is your chance. Get started at wvinvests.org. It's easy.
They can go around the mallway. You can get on 64 there.
All right, welcome back here. We are still waiting for the start of the boys' single A race. We are 11 minutes past when we were supposed to start.
Yeah,
making
you can
sure
go
that
down,
everything is
but
cleared
if you come in from Milton,
a medical
that's
standpoint, I believe, is the reason for this delay. Now that adds a different wrinkle, which as you go to the line, you think you're ready to go. You've done your warm-up, you've timed everything to be right, and now you have to kind of sit and wait. It's beyond anyone's really control here for really. So what is the message now to your team as you're having to sit and wait? What do these guys have to do to stay locked in?
Now the hard part about it is the mental part, because you were already ready and you knew that you were going to race at 3:45, and now we're looking at 3:57. They still haven't stepped onto the starting line. This is where it becomes mental. I mean, you can do all you want to do about warming up, but these kids are so eager to go out now. It might change their whole train of thought. Like, I know this sounds odd to say this, but you can preach and preach and preach to these 15, 16, 17-year-old kids about what you want them to do in the race strategy, and all that goes out the window because of something that is uncontrollable. It isn't anybody's fault. That's the way it is for everybody. But you just have to be in the right frame of mind, stick with the plan like you were told and like you've been coached, and you have the confidence to do what you need to do. But it's so much easier said than done, particularly since you're just talking about teenage kids.
Yeah, are you saying that 15 and 16-year-olds don't either listen or remember the instructions that you gave them even just 5 minutes ago?
Well, they're selective about what they want to remember. Coach, you told me this. I was talking to one of the coaches, and he said he had told his runner that I wanted you to do to beat this. I wanted you at this particular place and in the race. And she said, well, Coach, I bested your time like you told me to. So she kind of decided to be selective about what it is that she wanted to accomplish as opposed to what the coach wanted to accomplish, but ended up on the same page at the end.
You make pretty good money off of it?
All right, since we have them on, let's just go ahead and recap the day that started with the girls AA. We thought going into it that individual battle might be the best race of the day. That is the way that it shaped up. Mason Fletcher was your champion, the freshman from Herbert Hoover, getting past Alyssa Sorrow. From a team standpoint, though, it was Williamstown with 36 points taking the championship. Frankfurt was second, and Elkins was third. So as the day moved on, we went to the boys AA race, and it was all Elkins. We pulled these up here for Trevor George was your individual champion. He ran 16:09. We talked about the way that race developed. Ryan Hughes from Frankfurt went out and gave it his best shot to try and win. He does hold on for second place, 16:24. And then it was Benjamin Tenney from Elkins, Joshua Bodkins from Elkins, Julian Johnson from Williamstown, Frank Connor from Williamstown. And that helped Elkins take that state title. It was a goal for Trevor George. Said that they hadn't won one in a while as a team, and so Elkins is able to take that. Frankfurt on the boys and girls side in AA able to come up with a runner-up finish. Grafton was third in that race, and Williamstown was fourth. So then we moved on to the girls AAA race, and again the #1 bib has been the bib to have. Samantha Shreve led that one from, so to speak, bell to bell, took it. Abby Rogers from University had to charge late, and she did, to finish runner-up for a second straight year. She got Savannah Pritt from Cabell Midland, who finishes third. Hannah Phillips from Jefferson was fourth, and Morgan Metz from Parkersburg was fifth. And University High breaks through and wins the state title on the girls' side with 56 points. Cabell Midland was 74. Morgantown, which had won several consecutive state championships in a row, finishes with 83 points to round out that top three. And again, University High able to break through and win that state championship. And As we move to the AAA boys, the boys were able to do that as well from a team standpoint. Individually, we've seen one of the best to ever do it in the state of West Virginia, and Ty Stewart. He was gunning for that course record, did come up just a bit short of that, but Ty Stewart caps his stellar career with a third consecutive state title, 15-11 for him. Aiden Nealon really got on that track and he was moving. He was your runner-up at 15:36. Tyler Umbright led the way for University, finishes in 15:55. There were 3 Hawks in the top 10. Ethan Conroy, Micah Gaynor also joining Tyler Umbright in that top 10. But when you look at University's depth, their 5th runner comes in at 23rd, and they win it as a team relatively easily, scoring 42 points.
It can't be understated there, Adam. You had 3 runners in that AAA boys that broke 16. That's an absolutely outstanding time.
All right, and just wrapping up here with the girls single A that we just got done watching. Braxton County, from a team standpoint, is your champion with 45 points. St. Mary's was your runner-up with 61. Doddridge County, 3rd, 78. Charleston Catholic, 4th, and Ravenswood, 5th. Individually, it was Arabella Boggs grabbing that lead really early. She wins by over a minute. Laura Kane was 2nd. Bailey Holden from Doddridge was 3rd. Bentley Williams was 4th. Anna Bennett was 5th. Catherine Cottrell, 6th. Natalie Bartrug was 7th. Riley Sotomayor finishes 8th. Avery Lilly 9th, and Addison Lloyd was 10th. We are still not quite ready to go, so we are going to step away for a break. We'll be back, and we will have the boys' single A race.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in West Virginia, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
No matter what it is you need, you'll find it at your local Par-Mar store. From gas to grocery, snacks, and everything else you always seem to run out of, Par-Mar stores has it. Need more savings? Download the Par-Mar app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card. You won't only see our stores in your neighborhoods, you'll see us in your neighborhoods too. We are proud to be in your town and proud to be a part of the community. Come see us at Par-Mar stores. And remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
You got to remember that it's at least 15 minutes before they get there.
I was so excited when I heard this sandwich was back.
Minimum.
I was like, Cloud 9. 2 words, Cloud 9. What's up? This is Mike.
You can see him right over the flag, that last flag over top of the weight room.
Chicken sandwich.
That's where I can see a little bit of
You
it.
can always count on that crispy, tender, juicy chicken, and it's got pickled jalapenos, and it's so good.
My favorite part is the pimento cheese.
Mm,
Topped
see
off
us
with the
starter.
honey, it all comes together.
They're not
perfectly.
funny.
I like the original.
I like the spicy chicken fillet, but either way,
You're getting the winner.
real customers paid for their testimonials.
Well, they should be.
Farmers and Mechanics Insurance knows West Virginia, and we understand how much all of our high school teams and athletes mean to the communities that we have served for more than 100 years. That's why we're proud of our partnership with the West Virginia SSAC. Their commitment to teach and promote sportsmanship and citizenship is the key to future success. Protecting what matters most to you. Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, a proud partner of the West Virginia SSAC.
The best thing about West Virginia is West Virginia.
It's family, faith, and integrity.
It's a strong work ethic.
Everyone knows their neighbors.
I think we feel closer to nature and we feel closer to each other.
You can achieve anything here.
To be a West Virginian is to be hopeful. We live in a state that has boundless opportunities, and with boundless opportunities come hope.
Hope Gas is lighting the way forward for West Virginia. Learn more at Wvssac.com.
Wouldn't it be nice to start your day with a homemade breakfast and a freshly ground whole bean roasted cup of coffee while a tutor...
Yeah.
All right, we are back for the boys single A start. And there you see them go right across your shot. We're going to get to the drone in the air in just a
final race of the day is underway. The
race
single A
does
boys
finally start
championship
at
race.
4:05, 20 minutes after it was scheduled to start.
Well, how did I not get them?
We're going to do our best to get you that shot overhead. You see
I was waiting for them to come through my
large
camera.
number of runners getting started.
I was.
Yeah, and this boys single
wrong
A state championship, 94 runners to the starting line.
A great shot there. You see Interstate in the distance. And you talked about it just a bit ago, but how ideal these conditions are to race. I think it has been difficult. At this 3 o'clock and 3:45 slot is really difficult to sit and wait all day. And then you have to wait another 20 minutes to get started. So it has been a long wait for these young men here today, but finally out and have to feel so relieved to just get started and get this race underway.
Yeah, they just want to get this thing going, get the gun started so they can get out on the course and do their thing.
It is the top three that we expected: Kimball, Tane, and Davis making their way to the front, and it is thinned out already a little bit here even before we get to the hill, even get to back to the tennis courts.
Yes, I mean, kind of even pacing there. From about 1 to 5, they're all equally spaced apart, it seems like.
Right, and you see the shadows getting a little bit longer here later in the afternoon. Runner's going to cross this road, go through a little bit of a dip here, then get onto that practice field, and then head up to the hill. That is the hill on the course, and it is in that first mile. A good shot of our lead pack here. And we're going to show you the rosters for these qualifying teams. There, again, you can only run 7, but you're allowed to have 10 on your list. Top runner for Charleston Catholic, Will Barton, just a junior. He won 4 meets this season. He was also the Region 3 champion. He missed a good portion of last year with a hip injury, but he is back and having a great year. Doddridge County led by Carter Cias. He's also a junior, 2-time All-State honoree. He's your Region 2 champion. Trying to lead the Bulldogs here this afternoon. Cias has been out. He ran the first meet, and then he was out with an injury, and then just recently joined the team once again. The Regionals was only his 3rd race of the year, so running his 4th race this year. There's Magnolia's qualifiers.
You know, another thing that surprised me with our interview with Arabella Boggs was the lack of races she's actually run this year. I mean, that's, you know, kind of a testament to, you know, apparently her training and her coaching, and she tributes her mom as well.
Yeah, a lot of advice from mom there, it sounded like. That's
absolutely.
good.
Absolutely. But, you know, not a lot of competitive races under her belt this year, which, you know, goes to show that in addition to the training, that talent, and then that mental part to take over.
Yeah, and, you know, I think just to talk about Arabella Boggs once more, I think what I felt really in talking to her was just how much gratitude she felt to just be out on the course. Yeah. And you know, these athletes do feel a lot of pressure. That, you know, those 1 through 10 bibs are kind of a lot to deal with when you are out there, but she dealt with it well. And you see our 1-2 combination, Amos Kimball and Donovan Tano. And then that's Landon Davis. And then I see Carter Cias. We just talked about him. He's wearing number 7. And also Will Barton, number 6 through there. Just saw Samuel Gola come through. And then Link Susley coming through.
Yeah, you talked about those numbers, Adam. You know, all those numbers of those bibs of the top 10, those runners know who they belong to, and they knew why they got the numbers they got, and those are the ones that they're shooting after. So, you know, we're going to see some, I think, some pretty thrilling finishes to this Single A Boys State Championship.
Well, you talk about the metaphorical target on your back when you're the favorite, but it's an actual target on the front when you have that number because you're wearing those 1 through 10.
Absolutely.
We were expecting a 2-person race with perhaps an advantage to Amos Kimball, the pre-meet favorite, and we are getting a 2-person race here with Kimball and Tano making their way here, getting to the mile mark momentarily. Or did they go through it and I missed it? I think, yeah, they did.
They may have already been through it.
Yep. Well, Tanaway has not let Amos Kimball get away, even though it looks like that's what the plan is for Kimball. You take a look at the individual qualifiers, not affiliated with teams, and that can, as we mentioned there in the girls' race in particular, a lot of placeholders going by the wayside with a smaller race.
Yeah, Adam, you mentioned earlier, Tanu not letting Kimball get away from him, and he's been right behind him pretty much the whole race. He has kind of kept that distance, thinking he maybe can use his speed when they get down in the flatlands here, and especially going down the hill.
It's been a pivotal second mile all day in all of the races that we've seen. Will we have a definitive move here in our last race of the day? Had to wait a little bit longer for it, but it's been worth the wait. It's been a great day of racing. We have seen a lot of high caliber performances. We have once again mentioned how elevated this sport is in this state. And again, we're going to looking like we are shaping up for another great race, a battle up front.
Yeah, the 2-horse race we haven't seen the rest of the pack. They've kind of separated themselves. With our drone shot, we haven't been able to see just how much they've separated from the rest of the pack, but I'm sure we'll get that shot when we get that turn coming back around.
All right, and here is Amos Kimball trying to get a little bit of distance, but Donovan Tanaway is just not letting it happen right now. I always thought on this course that if you can maybe take advantage around one of these turns, just try to get maybe a step or two from a momentum standpoint, that might be an opportunity to create a little bit of distance. And there you do see the distance between that lead pack and the next group. It looks like a little bit of a group of 3, not quite packed together.
Spaced out pretty decent right now, but we've got a lot of race left.
And again, this is the part of the course where you just aren't able to get a ton of spectators, and Amos Kimball is trying to open up that lead. It's just not been comfortable for him, as Donovan Tanaway has just not allowed him to lose contact. And again, trying to close that gap. Looks like that is what he is doing. So every move that Amos Kimball has made, Donovan Tanaway has been able to cover it and get right back with him.
Yeah, it looks kind of odd from our perspective, but you see Amos Kimball has good stride frequency, but Donovan Tanaway has a stride length,
Yep.
And that makes up a little bit of the difference there. He has a really long stride.
Well, Amos Kimball is a junior, Donovan Tanaway a senior. We've seen a lot of great performances from some young athletes here today, some underclassmen paving the way for the future in this sport.
Yeah, we'll start with a freshman.
Yep.
Mason Fletcher. She just came out, and boy, that was an exciting race.
Yeah, it sure
for
was.
Sure.
Yeah, we thought, kind of looking ahead, that was going to maybe be the individual battle that would produce the most drama, and so far that's been the case, although the boys' race had a little bit of drama with the way that started and came back. But Amos Kimball trying to take the drama out of this one here in mile 2. It was move and it was covered, and it was move and it was covered. Has he now made a definitive move to create some space from Donovan Tanaway?
Yeah, every time it seems like he gains 6 or 7 meters, Tanaway comes back and starts reeling him back in. But the longer this race goes, of course, he's not going to be able to continue to reel him back in when they start running out of meters to go.
You see on the right there, that is the 2-mile mark. So they're going to go out and make another loop. They're going to head back towards us there. And then you see the gap, our 1-2 runners, and then how much that has opened with the third place runner. We'll identify those young men as they get into our view. And that's going to be Bryce Bills, followed by Dylan Malasepich, and then Carter Cias, Landon Davis, Travis Moore, and then Max Dotch. And then you see a pack there, Will Barton and Peter Bastekis, Isaac Collins, Samuel Gola, Dakota Petrie, and taking a look right back again towards the front of this race, Amos Kimball got to go up that hill, and he has really taken advantage of this move, really trying to get out of sight now. Side hill there, and I was on it yesterday. You want to stay low near that rope because that is the flattest part of it. So as you're going through there, you don't want your ankles to roll, so you want to stay close to that.
You don't want that
roll.
curve to throw you out, and then you're off stride. So Amos Kimball has opened up a pretty decent little lead right now. Excuse me, on Donovan Tannehill.
Yeah, and he's just trying to get home, right? We've talked about that a couple of times. Once you get to the bottom of that hill, he was just about ready to start that descent. There it is. And Tanaway's still in the shot a little bit, so he's just trying to muster. Can he come up with one more charge to try and get back into this one? But right now, Amos Kimball has the race in his favor, looking strong, cutting those tangents there.
Just about as quick as you could cut them.
Yep, now you want to be super efficient. And then see there, look, he's trying to avoid the concrete there. He's got his spikes on, doesn't want to go on the concrete. I think that's the first runner we've seen do what he can to avoid that, then just get right back over to the grass. So limit the amount of time he is on the concrete.
Yeah, he's going to be on the asphalt here as he's has no choice here coming across there to the tennis courts.
Great look at it here. Excellent job by the crew all day today to get us these drone shots and really follow the race in a way, boy, you couldn't even imagine a decade ago.
How technology has made things a little easier and at times been more frustrating for us.
Oh, he takes a look back. Just making that turn, Amos Kimball takes a look back, trying to see how much of his lead has grown.
It's a little interesting that he would look back right at that point right there.
Sometimes the conventional wisdom is that might be a sign of you're not maybe feeling good. You want to see how far you got to go. But sometimes you just got to take a look, taking another look there.
Yeah, he's pretty curious about Donovan Tannehill. He wants to see where he is, kind of keep him at the distance he's at. Do I need to pick my pace up? Is he trying to squirrel up on me and I don't know about it?
Yep. Sometimes you want to just know how comfortable you can be. Sometimes you want to take stock of who's behind you just because you're not feeling good. And you just want to know how much you might have to give here towards the later stages of this race. But Amos Kimball is in the lead and looking strong and on his way to a individual state title.
Coming around the softball field and be followed by the baseball field, which will put him behind the bleachers and then onto the track.
14:20 is the time on the clock, making his way to the stadium. An impressive run here in our final race of the day.
Really strong run here by Amos Kimball to answer the bell, so to speak. And he was challenged early in the race, and at this point now it's just kind of where he is and how strong he wants to finish.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's going to hugging right next to that rope, right? It looked like he might have even had a misstep there.
May have almost had a rope burn there.
Taking another look.
Yeah.
Hey, took another look around that corner. But it doesn't look as if he it seems to be in peril. I think it's more curiosity than concern.
Well, one of those things where you want to make doubly sure and, make sure that you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
He didn't look there.
No.
As he's got, as you say, here we go, Adam.
Yep.
But basically, he's going to hit the track at 15:25 with 300 meters to go.
That's going to be an impressive time here.
Yes,
for
it is.
Our single A champion, Amos Kimball.
Tanaway from Paw
He comes out. Here comes
making his way onto the track.
Yeah, Tanaway making his way to the track, and the advantage is about 100 meters. And Amos Kimball is making his final turn. He's got the #1 bib on. And
to keep the streak alive.
The streak will be alive. Here comes Amos Kimball. He's got his finger in the air. He knows it. He's got it. Amos Kimball is your single A champion. 16:10.
Wow. What a really good time for him.
Yeah, and how about Donovan Tanaway with a really nice run as well. Boy, he gave it everything he could. He made a couple of moves out there. He's going to finish in 16:28. So those are really good times here. 1-2. And now things will get fun and interesting. Down on the track, it's Bryce Bills making the turn, trying to get home. You're going to see him coming in your screen now.
Here's Bryce
Black
Bills
and gold.
from St. Mary.
And then the runners are coming in, trying to get in. That's Dylan Malsepich trying to get home.
Dylan
and then Doddridge County
Malsepich.
runner, that's Carter Cias.
Carter Cias from Doddridge County. Landon Davis from Magnolia.
And another Tyler
Travis
Consolidated
Moore.
runner. That's
Miles Steptoe from Trinity Christian. Peter Mustakis from Charleston Catholic.
Steptoe from
Will
Trinity.
Martin.
That was Peter Bastekis from Charleston Catholic getting in. Now we're seeing those races at the line. Those battle for points. Another great battle right at the line.
Wow.
Milcola from Doddridge County.
And St. Mary's battling right to that
Very
finish line.
nice.
Every point matters. Charleston Catholic
Dakota Petrie from Summers County.
has a couple of runners running really well today. Will it be enough? Will they have enough to perhaps get to that podium? And it's so interesting, Coach. All of these battles right down to the wire. These one-on-one.
Matthew Bayless.
Catholic hasn't won a state
Parker
championship. His best
Workall.
finish was a runner-up finish in 1994.
Mason Malone.
Doddridge County has also put several runners
Holden
through
Meisel.
6 state championships to Doddridge County's credit. The last one coming in 2017. Again, Carter Cias, we talked about him. Didn't ran the first
Jay
year,
Moat.
basically got back for regionals. So for him to have one of those top 10 finishes, really impressive for him.
Absolutely.
Tommy Weichel.
And it's been a fun day of racing, and most
Mason
of our athletes are making
Kearns
their
and
way to the
Corey
track, on the
Troto.
track, see what they have left here in this final stretch to try and collect as many spots, try to better that time as best they can. You see, try to do everything you can to try and get across that line and muster up whatever strength you have left.
Notre Dame.
For our next group just gone by.
Robbie Kincaid from Carroll Livingood.
Good strong finishes by some of these
Jared
guys
Trent.
in the lower third.
Jonathan Montgomery.
Determination, Adam, that they have to get across
That's
that finish
amazing.
line. A lot of
Ian Deskins of Logan.
Really out there grinding it out.
Isaiah Nesselrode. Blake Seats of Ritchie County. Cole Nagoski. Jacob Berg of Doddridge County.
Our final athletes making their way to the finish line.
Alex Yeager.
Battle as best they
Jason
can
Armstrong.
here. They finish the day off strong. 20:35 on the clock now. Terrific day of racing.
Blaine Sturgill
for racing. A pack of runners
Malachi
there.
Davis.
With a lean, I like it at the finish.
I like that head.
Jonathan Cross.
That's right. Got to lean into the line.
Taylor Carter of Paw Paw.
We'll stay here for just a moment or two before we move on and take a break.
Ryan Scott of Tucker County.
Look to be joined by Amos Kimball to
Gabriel
wrap up
Franklin.
the day.
Trey Meyer of Tyler Consolidated. Trevor Starcher.
These team standings shake out. It's always difficult for us to try and figure out the math. I mean, some of it's been a little bit easier than others.
So many 495 runners in here, and then you're trying to figure out top 5, and then you take out the individuals. It gets a little harder.
All right, we're going to step away right now. When we come back, we hope to be joined by Amos Kimball, your boys single A champion from Tyler Consolidated. Stick with us here for the Wvssac Cross Country Championships.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in West Virginia because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
You're not going to be the only one with that idea either. I know, no, there's not.
There would be a bathroom press box, a cabin member. But no.
Well, that's, you know,
I was so excited when I heard this sandwich was back. I was like, Cloud 9. 2 words, Cloud 9. Wow. What's up? This is Mike.
And this is Celia.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich
is the symphony of flavors. You can always count on that crispy, tender, juicy chicken, and it's got pickled jalapenos, and it's so good.
My favorite part is the pimento cheese. Topped off with the honey, it all comes together perfectly. I like the original.
I like the spicy chicken fillet. But either way,
you're getting a winner.
Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Farmers and Mechanics Insurance knows West Virginia, and we understand how much all of our high school teams and athletes mean to the communities that we have served for more than 100 years. That's why we're proud of our partnership with the West Virginia SSAC. Their commitment to teach and promote sportsmanship and citizenship is the key to future success. Protecting what matters most to you. Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, a proud partner of the West Virginia SSAC.
Looking for a path to success in service? The West Virginia Army National Guard offers unmatched opportunities. Earn your degree with up to 100% tuition assistance while gaining invaluable leadership skills. Train locally, serve part-time, and build a career with endless possibilities. Join a team dedicated to community, state, and country. The West Virginia Army National Guard. where your future starts today. Visit NationalGuard.com WV to learn more. We guard West Virginia.
The best thing about West Virginia is West Virginia.
It's family, faith, and integrity.
It's a strong work ethic.
Everyone knows their neighbors.
I think we feel closer to nature and we feel closer to each other.
You can achieve anything here.
To be a West Virginian is to be hopeful. We live in a state that has boundless opportunities, and with boundless opportunities come hope.
Hope Gas is lighting the way forward for West Virginia. Learn more at wvsforhope.com.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia.
Don't worry,
See
Amos.
your dealer and start your adventure
Put
today.
this headset on you,
Toyota.
okay?
Let's go places.
You'll be able to hear us.
For over 4 decades, the health plan is called West Virginia Home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community. The health plan. Here for you.
Come here, Aim.
Yes.
Very good.
Go tuition free with the West Virginia Invests grant program. Whether you're leveling up your career or just getting started, get the skills and free tuition at a West Virginia community and technical college. West Virginia invests in you.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get it
chance.
without falling all over
Get
it.
started at wvinvests.org. It's easy.
All right, welcome back to Cabell Midland High School for this Geno's Tutors Finish Line interview. We are joined by Amos Kimball, the boys single A champion. Congratulations, Amos.
Thank you.
Well done today. What was your mindset coming out?
I knew I wanted to get out fast, and I knew after that first mile you had to kick it because they were going to be on me. Then he was a little bit closer than I wanted to by the second mile, and that last one I just kicked it.
It seemed like there were a couple of moves out there. You tried to move, and then he would respond, and you tried to move, and he would respond. Take me through maybe that second mile where you're trying to get some distance, and he kept responding. And then what was that decisive move you made?
That whenever I hit a downhill, I would just go as fast as I can, try and get a gap on him. And whenever I get up the hills, I try to go as fast as I could. Then once I hit that 2-mile mark, I knew I had to go because he was close. So down that hill, I just booked it.
Well, we noticed that you were looking back on more than one occasion. I don't know whether that was comfort or whether you were just trying to kind of hawking to see where he was at. I mean, you looked back quite a few times. I mean,
I was just checking to see how far ahead I was.
Okay.
Just to make sure, see when I needed to go.
Yeah, curious or comfort, or is that was what the question was? Were you curious, or you just wanted to be comfortable?
More curious. I was being curious so I could be comfortable.
There you go. There you go.
That's a good point.
Hey, 7th place last year. Now you're the state champion. What was the motivation like last year? Obviously, a terrific field for the single A championship, and then you go back to the lab. You try to work out. When was this goal a reality for? Thought that this might be able to happen for you this year?
After the state meet, I took like a week off. Then I did my first ever 50-mile week, and I did 2 of those. Then I had the race down in South Carolina. Then after that, I think I've only missed a 50-mile week maybe 3 times.
Yeah, putting in that kind of work, it pays off here for sure in the state meet. Tough competition, but how'd you feel once you hit that track with that 300 meters to go?
Once I hit that track, I knew I had a little bit of room, so I just went for it.
Yeah.
And then down that final stretch, you got your finger up in the air. You felt pretty comfortable?
Yeah.
Good photo opportunity for you, wasn't it, Amos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, there he is, your champion. Amos, thanks so much for joining with us. Congratulations once again. There's your single A champion, Amos Kimball from Tyler Consolidated.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
If they're up and they're right.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store.
Today's culinary warriors have been challenged to concoct the ultimate snack masterpiece, using only the finest weapons in our arsenal, snacks and deli delights. Rosemary wields the ancient spears of Laffy Taffy, and Silas counters with the arrow of Slim Jim as the snacks fly and the deli slices. Remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Join us next time for more delicious duels on the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off. Till then, keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
Ready? It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right.
Recover.
Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Chocolate milk, the official beverage of high school sports, is brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast.
For over 4 decades, the health plan is called West Virginia Home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community, the health plan. Here for you.
No plan? No problem. Just wing it, and we'll do the rest. Plump and juicy? You got it. Fried to perfection? Always. Sauced and tossed, or naked if you prefer. It's always your choice at Geno's. Whether it's a 6 or 10 piece of our famous original wings, or our tasty traditional wings, or a 10-ounce portion of our tender boneless wings, we'll leave your mouth watering for more. We promise we won't wing it, but you should. Geno's Pizza and Spaghetti House. Just wing it.
Okay.
Go tuition free with the West Virginia Invests grant program. Whether you're leveling up your career or just getting started, get the skills and free tuition at a West Virginia community and technical college. West Virginia invests in you. This is your chance. Get started at wvssac.org. It's easy.
When the opportunity arose for me to pilot our new open heart surgery program at WVU Medicine Thomas Hospitals, I welcomed the chance to bring world-class heart and vascular care to our region. Along with my role as the new cardiothoracic surgeon, our heart and vascular team includes an experienced group of cardiologists and vascular surgeons who are part of the WVU Heart and Vascular Institute. We're here, and we're bringing superior health care to Southern West Virginia and beyond. Visit thomashospitals.org to learn more.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in West Virginia, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
No matter what it is you need, you'll find it at your local Par-Mar store.
From gas to grocery, snacks, and everything else you always seem to run out of, Par-Mar Stores has it. Need more savings? Download the Par-Mar app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card. You won't only see our stores in your neighborhoods, you'll see us in your neighborhoods too. We are proud to be in your town and proud to be a part of the community. Come see us at Par-Mar Stores, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
I was so excited when I heard this sandwich was back. I was like, Cloud 9, 2 words, Cloud 9. What's up? This is Mike.
And this is Celia.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich
Is the symphony of flavors. You can always count on that crispy, tender, juicy chicken, and it's got pickled jalapenos, and it's so good.
My favorite part is the pimento cheese. Topped off with the honey, it all comes together perfectly. I like the original.
I like the spicy chicken fillet, but either way,
You're getting a winner.
real customers paid for their testimonials.
Farmers and Mechanics Insurance knows West Virginia, and we understand how much all of our high school teams and athletes mean to the communities that we have served for more than 100 years. That's why we're proud of our partnership with the West Virginia SSAC. Their commitment to teach and promote sportsmanship and citizenship is the key to future success. Protecting what matters most to you. Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, a proud partner of the West Virginia SSAC.
The best thing about West Virginia
you're probably not going to be able to
West
clip it, so I'll
Virginia.
go to break.
It's family, faith, and integrity.
It's a strong work ethic. Everyone knows their neighbors. I think we feel closer to nature and we feel closer to each other.
You can achieve anything.
To be a West Virginian is to be hopeful. We live in a state that has boundless opportunities, and with boundless opportunities come hope.
Hope Gas is lighting the way forward for West Virginia. Learn more at Wvssac.com.
They are in. Okay, great.
Wouldn't it be nice to start your day with a homemade breakfast?
Okay.
And a freshly ground, whole bean roasted cup of coffee? Well, at Tudor's Biscuit World, every day starts with freshly cracked eggs, sizzling bacon and sausage. And you can't forget the mouth-watering made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, hot from the oven. Whether it's our famous sausage gravy or your favorite breakfast sandwich, morning always tastes better at Tudor's. Looks great, tastes better. Tudor's Biscuit World.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
When the opportunity arose for me to pilot our new open heart surgery program at WVU Medicine Thomas Hospitals, I welcome the chance to bring world-class heart and vascular care to our region. Along with my role as the new cardiothoracic surgeon, our heart and vascular team includes an experienced group of cardiologists and vascular surgeons who are part of the WVU Heart and Vascular Institute. We're here, and we're bringing superior health care to Southern West Virginia and beyond. Visit thomashospitals.org to learn more.
Wouldn't it be nice to start your day with a homemade breakfast and a freshly ground, whole bean roasted cup of coffee? Well, at Tudor's Biscuit World, every day starts with freshly cracked eggs, sizzling bacon and sausage. And you can't forget the mouth-watering made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, hot from the oven. Whether it's our famous sausage gravy or your favorite breakfast sandwich,
single A girls
morning
individuals, then
always
team.
Tastes better at Tudor's.
Yes, girls individual,
Looks
then
great,
team, and then
tastes
boys
better.
individual.
Tudor's
team. Or
Biscuit
did we do the girls?
When the opportunity arose for me to
so we're
pilot
just
our
doing
new
the boys.
open heart surgery program
Oh, I'm
at
sorry.
WVU Medicine Thomas Hospitals, I welcome
got
the
it.
chance to
Boys
bring
are up.
world-class heart and vascular care to our region.
Yeah.
Along with my
You
role
had
as the
it.
new
You had it
cardiothoracic
already.
surgeon, our heart and vascular
knows?
team includes an experienced
Yes,
group of
individual then team.
cardiologists and vascular surgeons who are part of the WVU Heart and Vascular Institute. We're here, and we're bringing superior health care to Southern West Virginia
Got it.
and beyond. Visit thomashospitals.org to learn more.
All right, welcome back to Cabell Midland High School. Everything has wrapped up here from Ona, West Virginia. We are going to go over the single A boys results. It was worth the wait. Amos Kimball, we just talked to him. He was your champion. Donovan Tanaway from Paw Paw is your runner-up. Those times, Coach, really impressive. Bryce Bills and Dylan Malasepich also under 17 minutes. Carter Cias from Doddridge County, Landon Davis, Travis Moore, Miles Steptoe with a PR today to take 8th place. Peter Basquetis is 9th, and Will Barton is 10th. Coach, your thoughts on the single A boys?
Yeah, Amos Kimball with a great run, but there were four single A runners that broke 17. That's pretty impressive for sure. So, yeah, absolutely, Adam. I mean, and then you look at these team scores, of course, they will be unofficial.
That's right. We've taken a look at the team scores here. We want to make sure that this is, it says official there, but we want to just be sure that it is unofficial because some things can change. But you look at that, St. Mary's with the state championship with just 61 points. Charleston Catholic, what a terrific performance there. If St. Mary's is able to close that championship, it will be the second state title, the first since 2016. And what a performance there for Coach Stephen Nutter, but a great run there for Charleston Catholic, Doddridge County 3rd, Magnolia 4th, Tyler Consolidated 5th, Trinity Christian 6th, Tucker County, Ravenswood, Summers County, and Mount View round up the boys single A team results. Coach, your thoughts on the team results here today?
Yeah, really tight race between St. Mary's and Charleston Catholic. And, of course, Run WV had at the top, all of the top 10. There was only a couple juggles along the way. But what a great effort there by the St. Mary's Blue Devils to nip the Charleston Catholic Fighting Irish.
There you go. All right, that's going to go ahead and do it here for us today. I want to give a big thanks to the crew who was working bell to bell so hard to bring you all of the sights and sounds here this afternoon. We hope you had a great time following the cross-country championships. For Jim Mahan, I am Adam Zundel. Thanks so much for joining us.